When your feet hit the ground while running, no less than 29 muscles contribute to how your foot and ankle move, stabilize and dampen the impact. In this video I will go through why it's so important to train these muscles. I will also give you 6 exercises you can start doing today, and the last one might surprise you a bit. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Göran. I'm a physio, coach and athlete. And before we head into some great feet strengthening exercises, let's make it clear why you should even care about having strong and functional feet and ankles. After hearing what I'm about to say, it may increase the likelihood of you doing some of these exercises. First of all, as mentioned, the feet is the first part of your body that hits the ground when you're running. And the muscles and tendons of the feet work together both to soften your landing, leading to less impact and reduced injury risk. But those muscles and tendons also work as a spring to return some of that energy into your next step and repel you forward, so you can run more efficiently and, simply put, faster on the same effort. Okay, so that all sounds really good in theory, right? But is there actually any evidence to support that doing specific foot training actually reduces your risk of a running related injury? There has actually been done a new study on this topic that showed some super interesting results. Tadej et al. Did this study where they split 118 runners into 2 groups. The intervention group got some different foot strengthening exercises to perform 3 times every week. They followed up both of these groups for a full year and let them report all running related injuries. And after a year they found that the group that didn't do any of these foot strengthening exercises had a 2.42 times higher risk of getting injured. Another thing that was very interesting in this study was that it seems that there is no quick fix to do these kind of exercises, because after 2 months the exercise group only had 2.75% less risk of getting injured, and that then grew to a whole 18.39% less risk of getting injured after 12 months of consistently doing these kinds of exercises. So it seems like it's a good thing, if you want to enjoy your running with less injuries, to focus a bit on foot strengthening. Let's go through 6 exercises you can start implementing to your training today. But before we do that, as with everything when it comes to training, if you want to start implementing these, make sure to not do too much too soon. I will give you an example of how many repetitions and sets you can do for each exercise. So maybe start with half of that, and then over a couple of weeks build up to the full recommendation. And based on the study I talked about earlier, I would recommend trying to get these kind of exercises in 3 times a week for about 20 minutes on each session. But I also want to say that it's way better doing it for 10 minutes once a week than not doing it at all. Another thing that I should mention in all of these exercises is that you should do them without shoes, which makes it easier to activate all of those small muscles within the feet. The first 4 exercises I will show you come from the program used in the study I mentioned, and the last 2 ones I will show you are my favorite ones. The first exercise is called feet tapping, and it's aimed to mainly strengthen the muscles that go in front of your lower leg and over your foot. And all you have to do is just to tap your feet and do it as quickly as possible with your heels fixed to the ground. Quite quickly you'll start to feel that you get quite tired in the muscles in front of your leg. This you can build up to do 45 seconds times 3. This next one is one of the most basic and best exercises for runners. It's the common calf raises. That is so good for strengthening your calf muscles. And this you can do in many different variations. The easiest one is standing on both legs and then just go as high as you can up on your toes like this. And then you can go quite quickly up and then slowly down to break and use the muscle on your way down. And then if you want to make this exercise a bit tougher, it's easy to just do it on one leg instead of both your legs. And these calf raises you can build up to doing 45 seconds times 3. The next exercise I will show you, you do while walking, and it's for strengthening those small muscles within your feet that controls your toes. So what you do is that each time your foot hits the ground, you grasp your toes. And as you slowly walk, you keep them grasped until you lift your feet off the ground. So each step you should take about 3 seconds. Then you keep walking around like this. And this exercise you can build up to do for 1 minute times 3. The next one is really similar to the last one, but sort of opposite. Instead of grasping your toes, you spread them as much as you can each time your foot hits the ground when you're walking. Also here you can build up to do it for 1 minute times 3. The next exercise I will show you is, as I mentioned earlier, one of my favorite exercises for working on your general stability as a runner. And what I like about this one compared to the earlier ones I showed you is that it's more of a complex movement, which makes it not only good for those stabilizing feet muscles, but basically for your whole body. So what you do is that you stand on one of your feet like this with a slightly bended knee, and then you just simply try to imitate a running stride with the rest of your body. So it should look something like this, and this isn't that difficult for most people. So what you do then is that you simply just close your eyes like that, and then you will immediately feel that you really have to start working on those stabilizing feet muscles and also your whole core and your whole body to keep a good position. And it's okay to lose balance, then you just use one of your legs to find balance again and then keep at it. And as you stand here trying to find your balance as good as possible while maintaining this running stride with the rest of your body, you will quite quickly start to feel that it burns in your lower legs, and also your whole feet are working a lot to stabilize your body. So that's a real favorite of mine that I really recommend you to do. And this one you can also do for 1 minute times 3 on both of your feet. Those are the first 5 exercises, which are all great, and even for me filming this video it has motivated me to do a lot more of these. But there is one big problem with all of those exercises. And it's quite simply that they are pretty boring to do. Although I'm a physio, I'm the first to admit that those exercises are not super fun. And if you remember from the study, it showed that you gotta do this consistently and quite often for a long time to reap all the benefits. And for some of us it can be hard to motivate us to do these kind of exercises that aren't the most fun to do. Most runners just want to run, and as long as you don't have any injury problems, you don't want to spend a lot of time doing boring strengthening work. Although you probably know it's good for you in the long term, and that it can help you to run more and faster. That's why this last exercise I will show you is super fun to do. And it's called slacklining, and you basically just walk on one of these slacklines trying to stay in balance. Besides strengthening your feet and ankles, you really need to work with your whole body's stabilizing system and all the muscles from your neck down to your feet to stay in control and balance on one of these slacklines. One downside to this exercise is that it's a pretty steep learning curve until you get the hang of it and can walk for a longer time on this. But even those hours you will spend learning to walk on a line like this, you will get a great workout then as well. So yeah, I can really recommend this, and it's so much fun learning a new skill. And even though you fall down sometimes, it's super rewarding when you find the control and can stay in balance for a longer period of time. And of course, another downside is that you need to find a couple of good trees to mount it on, and of course you need to have a slackline as well, but these are actually pretty cheap. They can be found for around $30 on most stores. So if you want fun and really good ankle and foot strengthening, this is a high recommendation. Now I will need to focus on not falling down again, but if you found this video helpful or interesting or fun in some way, it's always appreciated if you hit that subscribe button and like this video. And as always, thanks for watching, train smart, have fun, and I will see you in the next video.